At the moment, Caderousse quitted his sentry-like watch before the door. The road on which he so eagerly strained his sight was void and lonely as a desert at midday. There it lay, stretching out into one interminable line of dust and sand, with its sides bordered by tall, meager trees, altogether presenting so uninviting an appearance that no one in his senses could have imagined that any traveler, at liberty to regulate his hours for journeying, would choose to expose himself in such a formidable Sahara. Nevertheless, had Caderousse but retained his post a few minutes longer, he might have caught a dim outline of something approaching from the direction of Bellegarde. As the moving object drew nearer, he would have easily perceived that it consisted of a man and a horse, between whom the kindness and most amiable understanding appeared to exist. The horse was of Hungarian breed, and ambled along at an easy pace. His rider was a priest, dressed in black and wearing a three-cornered hat. And, despite of the ardent rays of a noonday sun, the pair came on with a fair degree of rapidity. Having arrived before the Pont du Gard, the horse stopped, but whether for his own pleasure or that of his rider would have been difficult to say. However that it might have been, the priest, dismounting, led his steed by the bridle in search of some place to which he could secure him. Availing himself of a handle that projected from a half-fallen door, he tied the animal safely, and having drawn a red cotton handkerchief from his pocket, wiped away the perspiration that streamed from his brow, then, advancing to the door, struck thrice with the end of his iron-shod stick. Doodle-doo, wah, wah, wah. This is a Western all of a sudden. I know I was kind of making fun of it and making allusions to Clint Eastwood and other Westerns in previous episodes here, but literally a character in black riding into town from the horizon on a horse, that's straight out of a Western. I don't know what else to say. A priest is approaching Caderousse. Caderousse not being at his post, not sitting outside the door for 1 second to go tend to his wife. And in that moment is when somebody comes. Ain't it always like that? Now, I only flagged this because I was obsessed with Red Dead Redemption for a while, and if you haven't played those games, there you get you're a writer. It's an open world video game in which you are a cowboy, and you can choose your pick of horses. The same way in Grand Theft Auto, you can like steal whatever car you want. Cars are horses in the game, and so I flagged this only because of the amount of horses that I encountered in that game made me aware that a Hungarian is an interesting choice for a priest, because the Hungarian breeds are typically a little more prized. I think that they would go for a little bit more money. So all of that to say, it's an interesting choice to have a priest be riding a Hungarian breed. So I'm thinking this isn't your average priest. Is this going to be someone from... Ooh, folks, I just got chills if this is actually what we're encountering here. We've seen Dante now going off and getting information. We had that emotional scene back at his father's apartment, and now we're cutting to Caderousse, and we're seeing his life situation, and we have what would seem to be like priests. And if I didn't mention this, priests aren't known for writing or having extravagant things. They kind of go against their vows to lead a humble life. So a priest riding this expensive breed of horse, could it be someone from the monarchy, someone from Villefort's world, coming to also investigate all of the different traces of Dante's past? They would know that Dante had escaped. I would assume that they haven't found a body yet, but maybe they did. All those bodies from the ship that shipwrecked. But yeah, could this be like two forces coming together? Dante on his pursuit and Villefort or the monarchy on their pursuit, and they're going to come to a head at some point? Or am I just too influenced by the idea of Westerns here, because that's very much what an early classic Western would be like? I could start to speculate and go even further about the money that Villefort or the monarchy has to change Caderousse's position in life. Because let's be honest, Caderousse is kind of a pivot figure, right? Like, he's kind of a fulcrum. He could be tipped in one way to give the monarchy, Villefort, information that could harm Dante, or he could, if encountered by Dante, give information to where Danglars and Fernand are. So he's kind of an interesting middle figure that could be influenced, to cleanse his soul of for moral good, to right the wrongs for not having said anything about Dante in the past, or he could be corrupted further, through temptation of wealth from the monarchy. So, but that's all speculation. I have no idea where this is going or who the hell this priest is. So there's only one way to find out, and that's to keep reading right here tomorrow. You know where to find me. We're going to keep going through chapter 26. That's what we do every day. Here we go. Tomorrow. See you then. Okay. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.